For as long as I can remember, my parents have been entrepreneurs. Like many first-generation immigrants, they started, ran, and grew their own businesses. My dad is a textiles expert. He graduated from an engineering degree in China where he grew up, and the first job that he got was in a textiles factory. He spent the large proportion of his career buying and selling textiles from countries all around the world, including Belgium, Germany, and the United States. Needless to say, when my family immigrated to New Zealand in the year 2000, it wasn't long before my dad had analyzed the local textiles industry and noticed there was a problem that needed solving. He noticed that clothing manufacturers in New Zealand didn't have access to a quality range of sewing thread colors. And so he decided, this is a problem that I can solve. So, out of a tiny garage, with a few spools of thread over 7 years, my parents grew a business that eventually became New Zealand's second largest supplier of sewing thread, with the country's greatest range of sewing thread colors. 408, to be exact. My parents, through identifying a problem, through being resourceful and learning many things along the way, they were able to devise a solution which impacted and helped not only our family, but many others in the community. From watching my parents' journey of hard work over the past 20 years of my life, I've seen that there is one quality that is important to embrace. And it's what I like to call an entrepreneurial mindset. An entrepreneurial mindset is that lens through which my parents see the world, where problems become opportunities to create new solutions. I first discovered the importance of this mindset when I was in high school. In high school, my intelligence was determined by the grade that I got in standardized tests. My readiness to learn was determined by how well I had memorized the course syllabus. Even though I had wonderful teachers, I struggled to see how what I learned in the classroom applied to the real world outside. And I remember there was one question which my classmates and I rarely got asked. And that was, what problems do you actually care about solving? And I wanted to change this because I knew that high school wasn't about preparing us for exams. High school was about preparing us for life. And so I walked into my principal's office and I said, I want to start a social justice club, and I did. And me and my friends, we decided that we wanted to create a space in which it was safe for people to talk about issues that they actually cared about. And we invited people from our community, people like the former Human Rights Commissioner of Australia, Graham Innes, who shared insights of what it was like to tackle problems outside the world of school. Finally, we had context to the knowledge we were learning in our classroom. Finally, we were looking at real solutions to real problems. And what started as just a few school students in a library eventually grew to a platform that encompassed the entire school, with parents, teachers, and a third of the student body. Through identifying a problem that I cared about, I discovered that my potential and other students' potential was not limited to our schoolwork. Rather, we could build our own opportunities to build solutions that we cared about. Let me ask you all a question. Who do you think of when I say the word entrepreneur? I bet the majority of you thought of the founder of a billion-dollar tech company. Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, maybe even Elon Musk. But I bet you didn't think of a high school student. Let's take a step back and think about what entrepreneurship is actually about. Mark Zuckerberg said at the 2016 Global Entrepreneurship Summit that entrepreneurship is about creating change, not just companies. It's about creating change. Yet as a society, we've narrowed entrepreneurship down to founding billion-dollar tech companies. Will all high school students want to be founders of billion-dollar tech companies? Of course not. But is thinking like an entrepreneur important for all high school students? Absolutely. And here's why. According to the Foundation for Young Australians, a person born in the year 2000 will have on average 15 jobs, over 6 industries by the time they retire. 15. Think about that. Even in this room, none of us know what the job industry is going to look like 20, 30 years down the track. I remember there was one question which people did love to ask me in high school, and that question was, so, what do you want to be when you grow up? And this question perplexed me, because I knew from watching my parents' entrepreneurial journey that learning didn't stop after formal education. Learning was something which was lifelong. And so I know that seeing the world through the lens of an entrepreneur is important for all high school students, because our careers aren't going to be one straight line. Our careers are going to be an evolving set of opportunities to create new solutions. Since graduating high school, I've been part of co-leading a not-for-profit organization called Generation Entrepreneur. And our mission is to empower all high school students to develop an entrepreneurial mindset. We achieve this through an event called Initiate 48. At Initiate 48, over 48 hours, students come with problems they care about solving. We pair them with industry mentors, skill workshops, and resources, and over the weekend, they build a solution from the ground up. We have worked with over 1,000 students from over 100 schools. And let me tell you, the impact that this sort of experience has on a student's mindset is incredible. To give you an insight into what it's like, I'd like to share with you a story of a girl named Anna. Anna is a Year 10 student at Turramurra High School in Sydney, and we worked with her earlier this year. Anna cares a lot about the environment, and she also loves art. And she was super excited that she would be able to channel her creative energy into creating a real product. At Initiate 48, Anna and her team set themselves a challenge of building a product that could reduce the amount of plastic that ends up in our oceans. Over that weekend, Anna's team conducted market research. They wrote a business plan. They built a prototype of a fully biodegradable straw before presenting a smashing pitch to a panel of judges. And I saw Anna's face as she walked off that stage. She was glowing. You could see that she had discovered potential in herself she'd never known existed, and she had built something that she was proud to share with the world. And when I see transformations in students like Anna, that's when I think, this is what high school should be about. High school shouldn't be about how good you can learn to the test or how good you can memorize things. High school should be about students finding those things they care about, having the curiosity to learn about those things, and having the drive to take that knowledge and implement it into problems they care about solving. But who says this is what high school could be like? Because the change is already happening around us. Last year, teachers began to reach out to our team saying, wow, we love what you guys do. We want to be able to incorporate facets of entrepreneurship into our classrooms. Can you help us? And at first, we thought, man, we're just high school students. We're a group of 15 to 20-year-olds. We're not qualified teachers. What do we know? But then we met teachers like Terry. Terry is a high school legal and business studies teacher, and she flew 800 kilometers down from the Gold Coast to observe Initiate 48 for the weekend. And it was because of the encouragement of teachers like Terry that we realized young people like us didn't need to be afraid of putting our hand up and saying, we think we have a way to make things better. It's because of this courage that our team has been able to partner with city councils, partner with universities and high school students, and expand the way that we view high school education in this country. We believe all high school students should have this courage. We believe all high school students should feel empowered to see themselves as an entrepreneur, to dare to ask questions, to dare to challenge the status quo, and to dare to build new solutions. They don't need to start the next Facebook to be an entrepreneur. They can be a school student like myself who wanted to enrich her school community. They can be first-generation immigrants like my parents in a room full of colored thread. Or they can be students just like Anna, who cared about reducing the amount of plastic in our oceans. So the next time you speak to a high school student, instead of asking them, "So, what do you want to be when you grow up?" Instead, ask them, "What problems do you want to solve?" Thank you.